Es ist eine eigene Stadt, wenn Sie das so bezeichnen wollen.
It's a separate city, if you like. First of all, the land is extraterritorial, which means physically it is in Austria, but it has extraterritorial status. So it's widely known as UNO City. In this building there are 4,500 offices and 4,500 employees. Every day 7,000 people come and go.
UNODC supports member states in their drug control efforts through preventive education and treatment programs for drug addicts, as well as taking action to reduce drug production and illegal drug trafficking. These actions are based on the 3 UN conventions from 1961, 1971 and 1988. The international drug conventions oblige states to control the production and distribution of narcotic drugs and to combat drug abuse and drug trafficking.
Und die dazu notwendigen verwaltungstechnischen Einrichtungen zu schaffen.
我就係嚟㗎啦，俾我個新開始。
Voy a tener un buen trabajo.
a kọ́ṣẹ́ òwò a sì máa pàdé láìpẹ́ yìí.
我屋企人咧都好快請我嚟嘅。
Y voy a poder mandar dinero a mi familia. Pronto volveré a casa.
mo gbọ́kànlé ọkùnrin yìí wípé yóò mójútó ọmọ mi.
Menschenhandel zum Beispiel ist in sehr vielen...
Human trafficking, in most cases, is an international phenomenon, which means it's operated across borders. People, for example, are recruited in one country, smuggled through 2, 3, or even more transit countries in order to be exploited in the country of destination. Actually, all the countries involved need to work together to tackle the problem.
The office mainly serves as the secretariat for an intergovernmental committee of the United Nations with 70 member states that meets every year here in Vienna, in this Vienna International Center. The office also has a program called the United Nations Program on Space Applications, where it produces or organizes workshops and projects every year, seminars, to gather people, experts and people working with space technology around the world to exchange experiences. I would also like to mention that the office has a unique program called UN Spider, and it stands for the United Nations Platform for Space-Based Information for Disaster Management and Emergency Response, where the aim is to really enhance the capacity of all states around the world to deal with disaster management and in cases of emergencies. And Austria is a very strong contributor to this program.
Our aim is to enable people in developing countries to have their own energy plans and to be able to carry out their own energy analysis without being dependent on highly paid experts from industrial nations.
Wir sind verantwortlich für die Sicherheit.
We are responsible for security in all areas of the application of ionizing radiation. This means in the nuclear field, in medical applications, and in research and industry.
Und auch in der Industrie. Plutonium hat natürlich auch, oder sehr hoch angereichertes Uranium kann halt auch, wenn jemand böse Absichten hat.
Highly enriched uranium can also be used maliciously to produce nuclear weapons. Through the inspections process, we check on this. There is also the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, which commits the signatories not to proliferate nuclear weapons, but only to use nuclear technology for peaceful purposes. Our laboratories at Cybersdorf monitor this.
Auch mit Hilfe der Cybersdorf-Laboratorien und der Analysen zu gewährleisten.
The ban on nuclear tests helps to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons on the one hand, and on the other hand it contributes to disarmament. Why? Well, a state which wants to develop nuclear weapons has to carry out tests to make them ready for military use.
Tests durchführen, diese Technologie für militärische Zwecke zu meistern. Wir bauen eben ein Verifikationssystem auf, das besteht aus
We have built a verification system which consists of more than 300 stations. Those are spread over more than 100 countries. We are very confident that there is no nuclear test on Earth which we would not measure. No nuclear test could go undetected. In addition, we can do inspections in areas in which a nuclear test is suspected to have happened. But this is only possible for us if the treaty enters into force. And there is another possibility which the treaty provides for. Countries can use their own technologies, for example, in order to send planes into an area to take air samples. We are not allowed to do this. UNIDO is responsible for economic and social development in developing countries. We work on projects in many countries and have our headquarters here in Vienna. I'll give you an example of what we do. 10 years ago, there was an export ban on fish from Lake Victoria. The countries which border the lake are Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. Around 300,000 jobs were affected. We managed to carry out quality control and to eliminate the fish contamination problems. As a result, the export ban was lifted and the jobs have been secured.
Fisch gab zu beseitigen und daraufhin ist das Exportverbot aufgehoben worden und Arbeitsplätze wurden gesichert.
Our mission is to provide leadership and encourage partnership in caring for the environment by inspiring, informing and enabling nations and peoples to improve the quality of their life without compromising that of future generations. For example, the Carpathian Convention is an international treaty to protect the Carpathian Mountains and ensure sustainable development in the region. The convention has blossomed into a real tool for lobbying for sustainable mountain development on a European level. In Romania, for example, the management of nature reserves has been improved. This in turn contributes to regional development and sustainable tourism. In the Czech Republic, there is a very active initiative to protect the Carpathian cultural heritage in the villages. As in other countries of the world, our main duty is to ensure the Geneva Refugee Convention is followed. In this case, through the Austrian federal government. Since 1951, UNHCR has had an office in Vienna. In contrast to those early years, today we don't have to deal with accommodation for asylum seekers and refugees. With the increasing complexity of the Austrian asylum system, our main focus now is on the quality of the processes. We work closely with the Austrian authorities to see how the system can be improved. We make suggestions about how to improve practice, how to improve laws. We also work with refugee relief organisations. According to the latest statistics, UNHCR is looking after 36 million people worldwide. UNHCR not only is responsible for refugees, but also for asylum seekers, internally displaced people, stateless people, and returnees. Altogether, there are around 36 million people of concern to UNHCR.